There is a safety reminder this morning after a teenage girl died over the weekend in a canoeing accident. What you need to do to make sure you and your kids are safe on the water this summer.
And it's a sign summer is here. It is opening day for the Madison Mallards. We'll talk with the team's general manager on what we can expect at the duck pond this year.
From the Channel3000.com Alert Center, this is News 3 Now This Morning.
Good morning, everyone. We get to skip right over Monday this week and head right to Tuesday, May 28th. Hope you all had a good long weekend. How about you guys?
We did. I did. I was out golfing. You were out
I was outside, hiking, biking. Yeah, I ran into some mosquitoes, though, northwest of Dane County.
Ugh.
So they're on their way.
They're on their way.
I think they're moving in.
Yeah.
I mean, they almost carried the car away.
Oh, no.
Lord.
Didn't even get out of the car. I saw so many of them.
Josh, you were up in Minnesota. You didn't run into any.
No, we spent some time on the lake, had some cookouts by the fire, not one bug. I mean, it was like the most spectacular weekend, but I know it's a matter of time, right? With all this moisture, it's going to be bad.
Yeah, the forecast doesn't help.
No, there's still rain in the forecast. In fact, today is an alert day for southern Wisconsin with the potential for some rain later on tonight. Most of the day is actually going to be dry. Here's our live view from the WISC-TV Skycam. Definitely not seeing a beautiful sunrise this morning. Skies are cloudy. That alert day is in the forecast mainly for the later hours today, this evening into tonight. Here's a look at radar this morning. There has been a little bit of drizzle here on the west side of town. Seems to have come to an end right now. A few showers are possible, but our rain chances really ramp up after 5 p.m. So most of you able to get to and from work today. Okay. Temperatures will stay on the cool side, though. We're looking at highs only in the low 60s this afternoon. Keep in mind, as we close out May, we should be in the low 70s for highs. Here's a look at your first alert traffic maps this morning across the Madison area. Starting to see a few brake lights on Stoughton Road right around the belt line, but nothing major just yet. Looks like no accidents or other issues to report, so you're still going at posted speeds as you head into Madison.
Yeah, pretty quiet out there. Some folks sleeping in after their long weekend.
Maybe a little bit tougher to get up this morning.
Oh, we know that.
Yeah.
Thank you, Hattie.
You're welcome.
All right, we are getting some new video this morning. Thankfully, a lot quieter here than in Ohio, where citizens and first responders there are starting to survey the damage left behind from a pair of tornadoes overnight. Two tornadoes touched down within 30 minutes and 3 miles of each other near Dayton. The first of those tornadoes hit just after 11 last night. At this time, no deaths or major injuries have been reported, but CNN reports about 5 million people have been affected by power outages. A third tornado was possibly spotted about 90 miles north of Dayton overnight, injuring 7 people there.
Also breaking overnight, a 12-year-old girl and a 39-year-old man are both dead after a knife attack in Japan. 17 others were wounded when the attacker assaulted a crowd near a park in the city of Kawasaki, just south of Tokyo. The fire department there says 16 of the victims were elementary school children. Police say the attacker died from self-inflicted injuries as he was being detained.
President Trump is on his way home from Japan this morning after spending a busy 4 days there. That included a visit with U.S. troops stationed as part of a Memorial Day ceremony. But a large part of the trip focused on Japan's concerns about North Korea and the country's recent missile tests. Despite that, President Trump says he's still optimistic that a denuclearization deal with North Korea is possible. He's expected to arrive back in Washington this afternoon.
New this morning, there is an active silver alert out for a 75-year-old man who's missing out of Darlington. Robert Corley was last seen around noon yesterday, and he hasn't been home since. He's believed to be driving a 1997 Dodge truck with silver trim and Wisconsin plates EL 1538. He was last seen wearing blue jeans, a blue jacket, and a blue hat. Anyone with information about Corley's location, anyone who might have seen him in that truck, can call the Darlington Police Department. Their phone number is right there on your screen. Iowa County authorities are looking for a teenage boy who may have run away from home this weekend. Zachary Limix was last seen Saturday morning in Spring Green. The 16-year-old reportedly went to a neighboring farm to help with chores, but never returned. The Iowa County Sheriff says he may have been seen on a paddle boat on the Wisconsin River yesterday. His family says he has run away before, but never for more than 24 hours. The sheriff's office noted he did not take his wallet or his medications. If you see Zachary, you're asked to call police.
To mark Memorial Day, community is gathered across our nation and state remembering the fallen and honoring veterans and current members of the military. Hundreds of people were at the state capitol yesterday to attend a ceremony in the Capitol Rotunda. The ceremony started with the VFW Post 1318 band concert. The event also had guest speakers. Those who attended said the ceremony didn't leave out any service member. According to the Madison Veterans Council, more than 200 veterans in Madison have died in the last year.
More local news this morning. Officials are urging water safety after a 14-year-old girl in Rock County died when her canoe capsized this weekend. Saturday afternoon, a group of adults and kids with ties to the Boy Scouts came down the Yahara River outside the town of Fulton when their boat capsized and got stuck on some trees. Grace Gordon, one of 8 kids canoeing, got stuck underwater. Crews worked to get her and 4 other paddlers out of the water. They eventually did and started CPR on the girl right away. She died later at the hospital. The trooper that pulled her from the water told us his heart goes out to her family.
It's not good, you know, you try to think, what could I have done? You know, is there something I didn't do right? You know, could I have saved her? Could we have gotten her out quicker? Would that have made a difference? And I try not to beat myself up about it, but it's something you're going to think about.
Rescue workers were back on the scene yesterday trying to recover the canoes that got stuck in the water. One is still there this morning.
The agencies that responded to the canoe accident want others to be mindful of the dangers. If you're going to be out on a kayak, canoe, or any other boat, make sure you're wearing a life jacket. The Wisconsin DNR also recommends you have a throw bag in case anyone within your boat falls in the water and needs help getting out.
Every canoe and every kayak should have one of these attached. Basically, this provides a lifeline to somebody that's in the water. Perhaps they fell out of a canoe, fell off the bank, and they're in the river, and you need an opportunity to get to them without going in the water yourself.
Officials are also asking you to be aware of both your skill levels and water conditions before heading out. This reminder is increasingly important with water activities increasing as the weather warms up.
All right, 6:07 your time now. Memorial Day marks the unofficial start of summer for a lot of folks, but another sign of summer starts tonight here in Madison.
It is opening day for the Madison Mallards, and joining us live from the Duck Pond this morning is Mallards General Manager Tyler Isham. Good morning, Tyler. Thanks for waking up early with us.
You bet. Good morning, guys. How are you?
We are doing great, and we are already hungry because I know you guys have a lot of incredible food options out there this year.
We do, yeah. So our 2 chefs, Tristan Straub and Matt Phelps, have been working the last 9 months on kind of crafting our menus. Obviously, we've got the classics, the burgers, the hot dogs, the brats that everybody loves. But make sure you stop by the cheese curd stand. We have a stand that's specific just to cheese curds. They'll have 5 different types of curds there, including a new Nashville hot curd, which I had last week for the first time, and it's fantastic. And then right next to the cheese curd stand behind home plate, we've got Stoddard Smokehouse, where we've got brisket and pulled pork sandwiches, other sorts of kind of smoked meats, which is great. And then we've got a nacho and taco stand, and we added tacos this year for the first time. And I'll tell you, the tacos that our chefs do, I'd put them up against anything in the city. When they're making tacos, it's like all of a sudden everybody eats 10 times more than they normally do. Because of just how good those tacos are that they make. So yeah, we've got the classic burger, brats, dogs, but we've also got some kind of new and interesting stuff for everybody to try when they come out this summer.
Big talk there, Tyler. I think I'm convinced to go. What about the duck blind? It's been a couple of years since you've renovated it. Remind folks of the perks there.
Yeah, so the duck blind is our kind of unlimited all-you-can-eat and drink party deck area. It's right behind me back there in the right field corner. And, you know, the great thing about that is it's kind of one price. You know what you're getting yourself into. You've got your food taken care of, your drink taken care of, and your seat. We did the big renovation 2 years ago, so sight lines are really good. You can see everything in the stadium. And there's lots of other fun entertainment. A new thing out in the duck blind this year, we actually have a photo booth out there. So fans can actually jump into a photo booth and take some fun pictures with their friends for some memories to take home with them. Those tickets start at $28 and kind of go up from there. The great thing about this week, we're home tonight, we're home Wednesday night, and we're home Thursday night. That's all weekday pricing, which is more affordable than it is on Friday and Saturdays. So get in your first duck blind game this week as we open up here.
All right, we will come hungry and we'll also bring those umbrellas because that rain's sticking around, Tyler.
Perfect. Thanks so much, guys.
Yep, we'll see you just after 6:30 for some more information. Thanks, Tyler.
All right, almost 6:10 your time on this Tuesday. The return of summer and summer baseball also means the return of mosquitoes. Yeah, if you haven't seen them already, we will tell you when you can expect them and why that brutal winter we had may not have killed them off like we were hoping.
No, do we have to?
Unfortunately.
All right, well, hopefully you got out and enjoyed some sun this past weekend like Lee and I did. Just a little crisp this morning because we're not, yes, thank gosh for makeup. All right, so we're not going to see that sun for a while, but Hattie's talking about the chance for more rain and thunderstorms coming up in her first alert forecast. This is News 3 Now this morning.
Good morning from the Hattie-O patio where it's cloudy and cool this morning. You'll probably want a light jacket as you head out the door this morning. Wanted to let you know that there is the potential for severe weather. So today is an alert day for southern Wisconsin. Time frame on that severe weather, though, happens much later today, probably after 7 o'clock. So most of the day will be dry. Those thunderstorms that move in, though, could produce some pretty heavy rain across parts of southern Wisconsin. Right now, flash flood watches are in effect for parts of Iowa and northwestern Illinois. Nothing for the southern part of our state, but it's going to be close with those rain amounts approaching 1 inch right along the state line. The severe weather outlook does indicate that there is a slight risk for severe weather in far southwestern Wisconsin, a marginal risk for most of the rest of the area from Madison up towards the Dells and over towards Milwaukee. Now, not a whole lot showing up on the radar map this morning. We did have some drizzle earlier, but now that drizzle has come to an end. There are some storms moving out across Iowa this morning. While we may see a few sprinkles or a light shower heading into the afternoon, again, best time frame for that weather to move in will be later on this evening. Now, a live look from the Edgewater Sky Cam shows you cloudy skies this morning here in Madison. We have had a little bit of fog here and there. Visibility's back down to under 3 miles in the Dells, but it's not a problem elsewhere. Here's a look at your temperatures. Still 61 in Janesville. That's the warm spot across southern Wisconsin. Drops to 51 in the Dells. It's 54 in Platteville this morning and 55 in Prairie du Chien. Now here's a look at your future track forecast model. If you want to time out the rain chances today, I think for most of the day, just cloudy skies. Temperatures will be slow to warm up this morning. We're talking highs only in the low to mid 60s. Warmest temps right along the state line with mostly cloudy skies even into the afternoon. Here's 7:30 this evening with that rain just crossing the Mississippi River Valley and spreading across southern Wisconsin through the overnight hours. As we head towards tomorrow, temperatures will start in the 50s. Here's a look at precipitation potential. It's going to be pretty light north of Madison, but those amounts increase pretty quickly as you head towards the Wisconsin-Illinois state line. Your extended forecast has warmer temperatures in the area. We actually get back into the 70s, which is good news. Here's a look at that extended forecast. Chances for rain continue Wednesday and Thursday. Looks like we'll dry out for Friday. Beautiful day. San Diego weather on Friday with highs in the low 70s and sunshine. We stay in the 70s right into next week. Now let's get a look at your traffic maps this morning with Josh Tim. Good morning, Josh.
Yeah, it's a quiet start on the Beltline this morning. Really nothing to worry about yet heading east or westbound. Other roads here in Dane County, not looking too bad at the moment. Northbound Verona Road, you are beginning to pick up approaching the Beltline ramps. No delays showing up downtown on campus. Volume shouldn't be an issue at least for another half hour or so. And other main routes coming into Madison, still moving at the usual speeds with no crashes or delays. Your first alert traffic, I'm Josh Tim.
Thank you so much, Josh, and thank you, Hattie. 6:16 your time now. We saw the first signs of summer this weekend, and if you were outside, you may have noticed one of them as well, the mosquitoes.
Yeah, sadly, this is only the start to, ooh, that video just gives me the
Doesn't it?
heebie-jeebies. I don't like it. Last year, we saw a huge jump in mosquito numbers around Madison, mainly because of flooding, and experts say that means there's a big egg bank out there right now, and while many hoped the polar vortex killed them off, experts say they likely survived due to the snow cover keeping the ground warmer than the air.
Shoot.
Yes, and if last year's numbers are any indication, we could be in for another historically long mosquito season.
They just had lots of places to lay those eggs and lots of time and warm temperatures to get through the life cycle, and that's why we saw that huge peak. So all those mosquitoes were out there feeding then in the late season and also laying their eggs, and that's the egg bank that we're looking at, potentially hatching over these next few weeks.
Not the news we want to hear. Experts say those nuisance bugs might be showing up a little earlier this year, even in the next week or so. Hattie was already saying that she was out in western Dane County and they couldn't even get out of the car because of the swarms of mosquitoes attacking them right away.
So I was at Bratfest Fireworks on Sunday evening. We were watching right along Lake Monona. I was okay, though I preventatively sprayed myself down with some DEET. So
see, and I was up in Minnesota and we didn't have anything either, and they've had the same amount of moisture that we've had down here. So
it's a matter of time.
It's a matter of time. It was nice actually sitting outside and not worrying about the bugs for once.
Take it in, because it's not sticking around.
It's coming. All right, so there is plenty of rain in the forecast that could lead to the puddles and standing water that might bring out those mosquitoes.
Exactly. Hattie and Chris are talking about a pretty active weather pattern over the next week, and that includes the potential for some pretty strong storms. Our weather team is in next with all the details you need to know on News 3 Now this morning.
Good morning from the News 3 Now First Alert Weather Center. It is a cloudy start to this Tuesday morning. Here's the view from the Edgewater Sky Cam behind me. No issues with fog here in Madison, but it's pretty gray outside. And looks like we're going to keep those clouds through the day today. Now our temperatures are starting in the 50s for the most part. We have 50s across southern Wisconsin, 53 here in Madison, 61 though still in Janesville. That's the warm spot for our viewing area. 51 in the Dells. Platteville starting at 54 degrees. Here's a look at your weather track map this morning. No rain from the clouds just yet, but there is some rain in the forecast later on today. I think you should actually get to and from school no issues, but the rain chances really ramp up later on this evening into the overnight hours. Here's a look at your bus stop weather forecast. Cloudy skies today, temperatures in the low 60s for the afternoon. So you might want to grab that jacket today. It's going to be a little cooler. Now it feels like the rain gear is getting overused this month. So far in May, we've had about 2/3 of the days reporting measurable rainfall. Chris is looking at some of the extended models to see if we're actually going to get a little bit of a break from this wet weather pattern, Chris.
Yeah, that's right, Patty. I mean, seriously, it's the time to shine for your rain boots. We've had so many, but folks, can we get more than one day without rain? I think that's been a big question around here, and I think the answer is yes as we look ahead into the pattern. One of the reasons we've actually been so active has been the overall setup over our heads in the jet stream pattern. We've had colder air across the western half of the country, meanwhile warm air across the south. Systems have been rocking and rolling into the country from the Pacific Ocean and then working their way towards parts of the upper Midwest and the Great Lakes. But this overall setup that we do see, I do believe is going to do a little bit of a pattern flip in time. Instead of seeing that big region of colder air in the west, I actually think you're going to develop a ridge of warmer air towards the west. Meanwhile, some cooler air will set up across the eastern half of the country, which I'm sure will be welcome for them since they've had the triple-digit heat. But at the same time, this overall pattern that you've seen of lows coming in from the Pacific and towards the Great Lakes, with this setup, that will actually not be possible. Instead, more warmer air will continue to build across the western half of the country. That's going to push the jet stream towards the north in Canada, and then another split section farther towards the south. That actually eliminates a lot of the rain chances for our part of the country. Now, as we go through the next couple of days, you will notice we'll see some rain chances, yes, but notice how we also get more drier hours between the rain chances that are coming this direction. So that is certainly good news. Now, we look at the rainfall outlook. We go through the next 6 to 10 days. Yes, over the next 6 to 10 days, there is a small probability of seeing above normal precipitation. But watch what happens as we extend that through the next 2 weeks. And notice how the probability of above normal precipitation continues to trend further and further towards the south. I don't think this is going to be the permanent setup, but as we go in the immediate term, I do think we will see a stretch where we are able to dry out for at least a couple of days. We don't know if that's going to last permanently. There are signs that we still could see a wetter and cooler summer.
Can't you just make it permanent?
Well, yeah, sure.
Come on, Chris.
All right, there we go. It's done.
Why did you wait so long?
You know, I was waiting on the pay raise before I could do that. That's what it was.
Brother.
Oh my gosh.
They always say that. If they pay you more, would you give us nicer weather? And I'm like, sure, just donate to the fund.
Help us out, folks.
No, we'll see what happens, but ultimately I do think in the next 2 weeks we'll be a little bit drier. A little bit.
We'll be waiting.
All right. I'll keep you up to date, Josh.
Thank you.
Thank you, Chris.
My pleasure.
6:25 your time now. A member of the UW family is continuing to recover this morning after a tragic car accident over the weekend. We will have the very latest.
And we have some good news to share on the condition of the assistant men's basketball coach Howard Moore and his son, and more local news when News 3 Now This Morning returns.
A UW basketball coach and his son are recovering as they mourn the loss of two of their loved ones in a car crash over the weekend.
From the Channel3000.com Alert Center, this is News 3 Now this morning.
Good morning, folks, and thanks for sticking with us on this Tuesday, May 28th. If you're headed out the door anytime soon, you might have to turn on the windshield wipers for a little bit of mist.
Yeah, we had a little bit of that coming in this morning. Hattie says it's not enough for the umbrella so far today, but maybe later on we'll need it, Hattie.
Yeah, that's right. We have had some drizzle. It's not drizzling currently on the west side of town. That has come to an end. It's actually pretty breezy. You can hear the wind in the trees behind me. I'm not really feeling a lot of that wind so far, so I must be protected by the building a bit, but a little breezy and chilly this morning. A live look from the Queen Bee Radio Skycam in Platteville shows you a cloudy start to the day today. We are going to stick with the clouds with rain chances returning later today. So it's an alert day for southern Wisconsin because there is a slight risk for severe thunderstorms for parts of the area. Again, time frame will be later this evening into the overnight hours. Should be able to get to and from work, no issues. This graph starts at noon today, so you see low chances for precipitation through most of the day, really ramping up after 5 p.m. this evening. Here's a look at your out-the-door forecast. Again, you might want to grab a jacket. It's a little cool outside this morning. We're not going to warm up much either with clouds in place today and a northerly wind. Temperatures will only top in the low 60s here in Madison. Might see some mid-60s to the south right along the state line. Now a look at your first alert traffic maps this morning. Still no issues to report, which is great news. A little bit of a slowdown showing up on Verona Road as you approach the belt line. Otherwise, no accidents to report. I did look around the area. It looks like you're still going, for the most part, at posted speeds as you head into Madison.
Boy, you can really hear that wind gusting out there this morning.
You can, yeah. I'm not really feeling it, but boy, in the trees behind me, it is pretty breezy.
Hang on to your hats. All right, Hattie, thank you.
You're welcome.
More local news this half hour. State officials are helping with an investigation into the deaths of 3 people found inside a Manitowoc home over the weekend. Police responded to a house in the city of Kiel for a medical call around 7 p.m. Sunday. When they arrived, they found 3 people dead inside. Right now, there is no word on who died or the circumstances surrounding their death. But the Department of Justice is now leading that investigation. Police do say there is no threat to the public.
Badger men's basketball assistant coach Howard Moore is making progress in his recovery this morning. The university says he is now up and walking around at the hospital. Moore and his family were in a tragic accident early Saturday morning when a woman driving the wrong way near Ann Arbor, Michigan, collided with the family. Coach Moore's wife Jennifer and daughter died in that crash. His son was also injured and has since been released from the hospital.
After taking a break for the Memorial Day weekend, construction crews are back on the job this morning, weather permitting. Most major construction projects in the state were put on pause at noon on Friday. That includes the interstate expansion and the Verona Road project back here in Madison. Work on both those projects and others across the state were scheduled to start again at 6 this morning, so be sure to stay alert on your drive into work this morning.
Recycling is also picking back up in Madison after the long weekend. If Monday is your normal garbage and recycling day, you know the city didn't make the rounds to pick it up yesterday. Those items will be collected today instead, along with the regularly scheduled Tuesday pickups. Carts have to be out on your curbside by 7 this morning in order to make sure they'll be picked up.
Madison's medians will be getting a little greener starting this week. City engineering crews will be replacing nearly 1,000 non-native plants along East Washington Avenue with native ones. The plants being replaced are nearing the end of their life cycle. The city hopes by replacing them with more native plants that are used to our climate, the medians will stay greener for longer. Those new plants will also be more tolerant to longer droughts and salt, meaning they won't be harmed during the winter. Crews will be out on weekdays from 9 until 3 over on East Wash between Franklin Street and East Springs Drive, weather permitting.
If you got your hands on a brat or hot dog at the world's largest Bratfest over the weekend, the numbers say you're certainly not alone. At this year's Bratfest, 141,688 brats were served. May seem like a lot, but it's actually not a record. The most brats ever sold, 209,376 brats, and that was back in 2010. Bratfest started back in 1983, and that 3-day event wrapped up Sunday night with fireworks, Proceeds from the event go to over 100 local nonprofits, and that's making me so hungry right now.
I know neither of us helped with that record number either, though.
I know, I was out of town, and you were there for the fireworks, but you didn't have a brat.
But I didn't have a brat. Who goes to Bratfest and doesn't get a brat?
Who are you?
Next year, I'll make up for it, I promise.
You're promising.
I'll get back to you on that.
Better live up to it.
All right, if you didn't have enough of it this weekend, some more family fun in store for you tonight to start off your summer.
Yeah, it is opening day for the Madison Mallards, and joining us live from the Duck Pond this morning to tell us what we can expect at the ballpark this year is Mallards General Manager Tyler Eischen. Hey, Tyler, good morning.
Hey guys, we'll certainly have brats here as well. So Leah, if you make it to a game, you can have a brat when you come out then.
All right, I am sold. Tyler, let's talk a little bit about what we can expect for the season. You guys coming off a winning season. Are we hoping for more of the same this year?
Yeah, I mean, we've got Donnie Scott, our field manager, returning, as well as a few players that played on last year's team. So that's kind of headlined by Nick Gile, who's a native of Menominee Falls, Wisconsin, and he plays right up the road from the ballpark here for Madison College. He played for us last year, he was played in 9 games, had a hit in 8 of them, and we're excited to have him back. He's going to be joining us when Madison College finishes up. They're down at the Junior College World Series right now, playing in that over the next week or so. And then we've also got another local player from DeForest, Wisconsin, who is down at the University of Virginia, who's a catcher. His name's Logan Michaels. He hit, I think, .313 for Virginia this year and was their everyday catcher. He'll be joining us in the next couple days as well. But yeah, we're hoping to build on that 49-win season from last year and hopefully bring another Northwoods League championship back to Madison.
So the big opening night, what can families expect if they're going to take the kiddos out there tonight?
Yeah, our fan zone is amazing. We've got all sorts of fun games and activities for kids. We've got bounce houses and inflatables. Our sandbox is ready to rock. Playground. We've got chuck a duck, pluck a duck. All sorts of fun games where they can win lots of prizes. And then kind of the wacky on-field promotions that we continue to do. We'll have some new ones this year. And then at the end of the week, this week on Thursday night we play, and the Superstars will be here. And if you haven't seen them before, make sure you look them up and come out and see them on Thursday night. They're wacky, wild, giant inflatable animals that come out and do kind of choreographed dances on the field between innings. So yeah, it's going to be loaded of fun. Right over the top of our gate it says "Welcome to your 9-inning vacation," and really we want fans that come here all summer long to feel like they are on vacation. They don't need to jump on a plane and fly somewhere. They can just come to the north side to Warner Park and check out a Mallards game to kind of get away from it all for a little bit.
9-inning vacation. All right, Tyler, you save me some brats. I'll see what I can do.
You got it.
Have a good one. See you.
All right,
thanks,
it is
guys.
6:37 right now, so if a trip to the ballpark isn't in the cards for the family this week, maybe a trip to one of our state parks is this weekend.
Oh yeah, we are looking ahead at a chance to take in all of the great outdoor activities Wisconsin has to offer for free. Thanks for watching News 3 Now this morning.
Shift
All right, 'tis the season to get out and enjoy nature, and Linda Watson did just that with her My News 3 morning photo for this morning.
Leah, tell us everyone what that is.
Folks, this is a Canada goose.
Yes, you got it right.
See, the last time we had a picture of what we believed to be a swan, and I called it a duck, and I've been taking flack for it ever since. Linda, lovely photo of these Canadian geese, and they're geeselings?
Yeah, I think so, right?
Yes!
Yeah, we're not getting any, goslings.
Oh, no.
Oh, we're doing so good.
Oh, I'm never going to live that one down.
Oh, no. All right. Well, thank you so much for sharing your picture. You can always share yours on our social media.
So a lot of us are coming off of a long weekend, maybe enjoying the nature. But if you're already looking ahead to next weekend, here's another chance to get outside and have some fun with the entire family.
Yeah, let's find some goslings, huh? The DNR's annual Free Fun Weekend is this Saturday and Sunday. All state park vehicle admission fees and the state trail pass fees are going to be waived, and you also don't need a license to fish. If you need fishing gear, there's equipment you can loan at 50 sites across the state. Keep in mind, though, if you're camping, those fees do still apply.
I just love this story. We have so much to be thankful for when it comes to the outdoors here in Wisconsin. You know I love kayaking. You know I love camping. Get out there and check it out.
Hopefully we have some good weather so all the families can get out there and enjoy.
And hopefully you guys take some pictures, send them our way for our News 3 mornings.
Yes. We'll see if we can find some goslings. Geeslings?
Oh,
Did you call them? All right, 6:41. We'll keep our fingers crossed that the forecast clears up by this weekend. We have one job, and we're screwing it up because Hattie has a wet and stormy week ahead of us. She's in next to tell us about the potential severe weather threat with some strong thunderstorms.
Some weather for the ducks, folks. Some weather for the geeslings. But first, it's May 28th. We want to say happy birthday to Peyton and all the kiddos turning 3 today or over the holiday weekend. Thanks so much for celebrating with us here on News 3 Now this morning.
Welcome back at 6:45 on a Tuesday morning. It's our favorite part of the morning because the polar bears, of course.
Nothing makes me happier than seeing these little guys having fun, even when the weather isn't that great.
They were kind of like drowning each other earlier, though. I was getting a little worried.
Look at this guy. He's having a heck of a good time. He doesn't mind the weather that the rest of us might not love today.
Yeah, that is very true. All right, Hattie, Leah wants to get out the fishing truck to see those geeselings this morning. Can you help us out a little bit?
Oh,
I'm
brother.
not sure. It's almost like it's Monday, guys. It's Tuesday, but it feels like a Monday.
Oh,
nice
boy.
to see the polar bear outside, getting in some laps early this morning. We do have cloudy skies this morning. Take a live look behind me from the Edgewater Sky Cam. Gray skies, but no rain right now across southern Wisconsin. Tonight is the home opener for the Mallards. Here's your forecast if you're headed out to the ballpark. Not bad. Well, it could be a little warmer, but still, looks like you're just going to see mostly cloudy skies through the game. Game starts at 6:05. There is a small chance for some rain to move in towards the end of the game, but right now it looks like it should hold off until after the game comes to an end. That is if they're not in extra innings. Mostly cloudy skies, though, you'll probably want a light jacket as temperatures drop back into the 50s. Here's a look at the precipitation, though, for the month. Feels like it's been raining all of May. We've added up over 6 inches of rain so far. The average for the month is just over 3.5, and you can see about 2/3 of the days we've had measurable precipitation. Now we're going to add to that again the next couple of days as we close out the end of the month. Here's a look at potential precipitation over the next 24 hours. Pretty light north of Madison, but as you head southward towards the state line, that's where you could see an inch or more of rain possible. And as you get into northern parts of Illinois, even higher rain totals are possible over the next 24 hours. With all that rain moving in, there will be some showers and thunderstorms. Today is an alert day, mainly for later today into tonight. There's a potential for some strong to severe thunderstorms. Here's a look at the slight risk for severe weather. It includes just the southwestern corner of the state, but a marginal risk for Madison up towards the Dells and then over towards Milwaukee. And again, timing on that this evening into tonight. Nothing showing up on the radar map right now. We'll zoom it out and you can see that there is some activity to the west, showers and thunderstorms moving across Iowa. That'll weaken some as it tracks eastward today. So again, through the day, outside chance for a shower. That's about it. Here's a look at your future radar. It is predicting a few showers making it into southern Wisconsin, holding together long enough to cross the Mississippi River Valley, but the bulk of the rain stays to our west. A live look from the Sky Cam here on the west side of town. Cloudy skies, 53 here in Madison, 54 in Lone Rock. It's only 51 in the Dells. A little breezy this morning as well. That north wind kicking up at times. Now our future track forecast model calls for temperatures to slowly climb through the 50s. Again, mainly quiet through the day today. Temperatures right around 60 at lunchtime, 63 for the high today. After 7 or 8 o'clock, that's when that rain starts to move through southern Wisconsin, and it will push across the entire area overnight tonight. Here's a look at your extended forecast. We do keep the rain chances in the area, but at least temperatures warm into the 70s starting tomorrow. Here's a look at our pet walk forecast. Oh, Moose, Bear, all snuggled up in the blanket. It's a perfect place to be today.
That is the perfect place. I think
only
we all,
we could.
yeah, we all want to be there, I think.
What a cute name, Moose.
Yeah, the life of a house cat.
I always love when animals have the name of another animal.
Josh is easily amused.
All right, Hattie, thanks.
You're welcome.
Stay with us. The morning sprint is up next.
6:52, time for the morning sprint as our team gets your work week started after the long holiday weekend.
Yep, Patty's looking at a severe weather chance for late today, but weather is already the story of the morning in other parts of the Midwest. At least 2 tornadoes touched down overnight near Dayton, Ohio, leaving millions without power. Crews are cleaning up debris on highways there with snowplows this morning. So far, no deaths or injuries have been reported. CBS This Morning will continue to follow this story at the top of the hour.
A 12-year-old schoolgirl and a 39-year-old man are dead after a knife attack in Japan. 17 others were wounded when the attacker assaulted a crowd near a park in the city of Kawasaki, south of Tokyo. The fire department there says 16 of the victims were elementary school children. Police say the attacker died from self-inflicted injuries as he was being detained.
President Trump is on his way home from that country this morning after spending a busy 4 days there. That included a visit with U.S. troops stationed in Japan as part of a Memorial Day ceremony. But a large part of the trip focused on Japan's concerns about North Korea and the country's recent missile tests. Despite that, President Trump says he's still optimistic that a denuclearization deal with North Korea is possible. He's expected to arrive back in Washington this afternoon.
It's an alert day for southern Wisconsin, mainly for later today into tonight. Potential for some strong to severe thunderstorms to move through southern Wisconsin. Here's a look at your rain probabilities. Starting at noon today, still real low through the morning and afternoon hours. Rain chances really start to increase as you head towards the evening and overnight time frame. Now today will be kind of a cool day with clouds in the area. Temperatures will only climb into the low 60s this afternoon.
Patty, thank you. State officials are helping with the investigation into the deaths of 3 people found inside a Manitowoc home over the weekend. Police responded to a house in the city of Kiel for a medical call around 7 Sunday night. When they arrived, they found 3 people dead inside. Right now, there's no word on who died or how, but the Department of Justice is now leading the investigation. Police do say there is no threat to the public.
Officials are urging water safety after a 14-year-old girl in Rock County died when her canoe capsized this weekend. Saturday afternoon, a group of adults and kids with ties to the Boy Scouts came down the Yahara River outside the town of Fulton when their boat capsized and got stuck on some trees. Grace Gordon, one of 8 kids canoeing, got stuck underwater. Crews worked to get her and 4 other paddlers out of the water. They eventually did and started CPR on the girl right away. She died later at the hospital.
There's an active silver alert this morning for a 75-year-old man missing out of Darlington. Robert Corley was last seen around noon yesterday and hasn't been home since. He's believed to be driving a green 1997 Dodge truck with silver trim and Wisconsin plates, EL 1538. He was wearing blue jeans, a blue jacket, and a blue hat when he was last seen. Anyone with information about Corley's location is asked to call the Darlington Police Department.
Iowa County authorities are looking for a teenage boy who may have run away from home. Zachary Limix was last seen at home Saturday morning in Spring Green. The 16-year-old reportedly went to a neighboring farm to help with chores, but never returned. The Iowa County Sheriff says he might have been seen on a paddle boat on the Wisconsin River yesterday. His family says he has run away before, but never for more than 24 hours. The sheriff's office noted he did not take his wallet or his medications. If you see Zachary, you're asked to call police.
Badger men's basketball assistant coach Howard Moore is making progress in his recovery this morning. The university says he is now up and walking around at the hospital. Moore and his family were in a tragic accident early Saturday morning when a woman driving the wrong way near Ann Arbor, Michigan collided with the family. Coach Moore's wife, Jennifer, and daughter died in that crash. His son was injured and has since been released from the hospital.
Road construction projects across the state picked up again just about an hour ago now. Most major projects, including the interstate expansion and the Verona Road project, were paused for the holiday weekend. With crews back out on the roads, drivers are reminded to slow down and pay attention in those work zones.
Another sign summer is almost here. The mosquitoes are starting to come out again. Last year we saw a huge jump in mosquito numbers around Madison, mainly because of the flooding. Experts say that means there's a big egg bank out there. And while many hope the polar vortex killed them off, experts say they likely survived due to the snow cover keeping the ground warmer than the air. And if last year's numbers are any indication, we could be in for another historically long mosquito season.
All right, 6:56 now. Another sign of summer. Today is opening day for the Madison Mallards. The team is coming off of their most successful season in team history, racking up 49 wins last year. There are also plenty of new food options to try at the ballpark this year. Gates open at 5, and first pitch against the Kokomo Jackrabbits is at 6:05. We have all the details on tickets, food options, and more over on channel3000.com.
All right, 6:57. Let's turn it over to Josh Tim with a final look at your first alert traffic. Hey, Josh.
Hey guys, the westbound side of the Beltline is definitely getting busier now. A couple of minute delay between Stoughton Road and West Broadway. Inbound John Nolan starting to pick up near the Rimrock and Nolan Avenue intersections heading into the downtown Madison area. Broner Road slowing down between Highway PD and the Beltline heading north and southbound. But other main routes coming into Madison still moving at the usual speeds with no crashes or delays. Your first alert traffic, I'm Josh Tim.
Thanks, Josh.
And here's a live look outside from the Edgewater Sky Cam. Cloudy skies today. Rain moving in later on this evening.
Grab the umbrella. Have a great Tuesday, folks. We'll see you back here tomorrow morning.